Kill the Hero. Chapter 1 to 10. Manhua Recap. The protagonist. Kim Woo-jin hated the world because he was abundant as soon as he was born, which was why he did not trust anyone and always left alone. In January 2020, the world changed like a game and dungeons popped up around the world. As a result, monsters poured out from the dungeons and brought destruction to the land. But God did not forsake the people and granted them heavenly power, called the authority, due to which players were born and defended the humanity. By killing the monsters and blocking the dungeons, Kim Woo-jin thought that everything was going okay. Until he met Si Junli. Si Junli was a knight selected by the Holy Light, and the only strongest player, who fought head-on-one with powerful monsters and slaughtered them. His plan was to kill the final boss of the game, and then put an end to this world. As a result, the Messiah Guild was born, and many heroes started to hang around Si Junli with the idea of saving the world. MC also thought that through this the world would change. And then, at last, after clearing many dungeons, the final dungeon came, and Si Junli at this moment betrayed Kim Woo-jin and struck a poisonous sword into him. MC came to know that from the start everything was his plan. Afterwards, Waifu came near to Kim Woo-jin and told him that if all the dungeons disappeared, then they would not be able to rule the world. Kim Woo-jin, unable to fight back, became very furious. But since the poison had spread all over his body, he could not move and his enemies laughed at him wickedly. At his last moments, Kim Woo-jin thought that he should not have trusted anyone. He dropped on the floor and met his end, and that is how the story of the player began. There was light at the end of tunnel, and a military truck came out of it. Kim Woo-jin with other soldiers was seated in the truck, but he was confused as he had died by the poisonous sword. He thought that he was dreaming and smashed the truck stopped. A lot of trolls and monsters were in front of them. Soldiers came out of the truck. The trolls spotted them and rushed towards them. The driver as well as the soldiers were in panic. But Kim Woo-jin handled the situation smoothly and shot the troll on head. He fought with the monsters head-on, shot them down fearlessly, one by one without hesitation, and killed them all. All his companions were shocked by his accomplishment. They thought that, was this even possible? But Kim Woo-jin was still thinking if it is all a dream. His commander called him and yelled at him, "Crazy punk, are you trying to kill us all?" But Kim Woo-jin was not bothered and went past him. Everyone was shocked and thought what happened to him. Kim Woo-jin sat down, collected his thoughts and came to know that this is not a dream. Now he had another chance, could take revenge on Si Junli. Then suddenly he sweated and saw a system saying you are a player. He was very surprised and saw 3 classes in front of him. In his past life there were only 2 options. But now a new one appeared called the Dark World Surrogate. This class had the ability to control various poisons and curses, as well as awakening the undead to create an evil army. So this means that one player can monopolize all the other abilities and be called as a mortal king. Kim Woo-jin thought that if Si Junli is the hero, no, but he is a monster, and if he wanted to hunt the monster he needs to become monster himself. So Kim Woo-jin chose Dark World Surrogate as his class. Now he will become a monster to hunt a monster. Next he goes to the Phoenix Guild headquarters to make a contract with them. They showed him some items, but Kim Woo-jin did not have enough money to buy them. The contractor showed him some skills of Dark World Surrogate and told him to select one if he is a player. Among the skills, Kim Woo-jin saw an overpowered skill called Hemotoxin. He was surprised to see it here. This skill was very simple and dangerous, as it could convert the blood of a cultivator into deadly poison, but with golem skill, it became very overwhelming. So Kim Woo-jin selected this skill, obtained its power and acquired it permanently. Now Kim Woo-jin needed battle experience, so he joined a hunting team, but as he was getting late, his teammates were getting restless. He came in an old broken car. His teammates were looking at his getup and underestimating him. The team leader said, "Forget him and let's go." They were thinking of him as nobody, and then started to make arrangements for dungeon hunt. Kim Woo-jin didn't know any one of them, and he didn't even care about them. They entered the dungeon, passed its barrier, and saw that it was a completely different world. They thought that they have entered a game. The team leader gave command, "Stay on alert, everyone." MC looked here and there and found out that it was a dungeon full of goblins. Team leader ordered MC to look around the vicinity, and Kim Woo-jin agreed. The teammates were full of greed and said, "I thought he would be clingy, but I guess not," and Kim Woo-jin left. The team leader thought that one has left now. All items from dungeon reward will belong to them. Kim Woo-jin knew that they were using him as a bait and smiled. In the meantime, at Messiah Guild headquarters, Si Jun-lee and his subordinate were making preparation for the new mission and welcoming of a new companion, Suzuki Eiichi. Si Jun-lee welcomed him. At the same time, Suzuki Eiichi said, "What will be my future tasks?" Si Jun-lee's comrades took this as an insult and yelled at him, "This bastard! Why has he come here?" Eiichi fully said, "Why are you mad? Is it because of last time, or do you have some connection to me?" Si Jun-lee ordered stop and glared. His companion got back to his seat. Park Sin-hai, Messiah Guild's vice guild master, said, "Let's stop with greetings and recommended work to do." Suzuki Eiichi said that if it's something we need to find, then it will take me 3 days, and left Si Jun-lee speechless. At the same time in the dungeon, Kim Woo-jin was finding the tracks of goblins. Surprisingly find out that this track belonged to Suzuki Eiichi. In the previous life, Suzuki taught Kim Woo-jin dungeon surviving tricks. MC, while remembering him, moved forward and thought that these teachings will now turn into a blade against him. In the back, boomed the goblins, threw a rock at him, and MC dodged skillfully. 3 funny-looking goblins were attacking him. Kim Woo-jin took out a dagger, stained it with his poisonous blood. The fight between goblins and Kim Woo-jin began. Goblins took the first move. Kim Woo-jin dodged and gave them a scar. Goblins were affected with poison, but did not stop attacking him. Kim Woo-jin liked their consistency. Another goblin entered the battle. Kim Woo-jin shot him with a dagger. The goblin died. Kim Woo-jin was happy, but a lot more goblins came. Kim Woo-jin took out his wimp and rolled over them. The goblins were affected with fear, as the wimp was the unique item called Goblin Lord Wimp. While the other team members were looking for treasure, they fall prey to goblins. First, the goblins attacked the magician, and the team leader protected her. Every team member cheered for him. He was happy that he prepared a long sword, but the long sword got stuck into the goblin body, and the other goblins attacked him. He fell on the ground. His head was bleeding and shouted, "Help, help." The team members ran to help him. On the other side, Kim Woo-jin was cutting the goblins like he was cutting a cake. He smirked and goblins ran in fear. He took out his wimp, caught the goblins with their neck, and killed it. Boom! Kim Woo-jin leveled up and said, "They are weaker than he thought," and went away. On the other hand, the party was sticking to the thread of life. They were fighting amongst themselves, riddled in fear. They heard a horrific sound and stood up shivering in fear. Kim Woo-jin, on the other hand, leveled up and got the skill Skeleton Disease. This skill was able to rise the undead. Kim Woo-jin liked it and went near the corpse. He used the skill on a goblin. Slowly the goblin's flesh melted and only the skeleton was left. Kim Woo-jin liked the look in the undead eyes. Kim Woo-jin saw the capability of the skeleton. It was below his expectations. He thought it was because of his low magic stat. The skeleton was too weak to use as his main attack. Afterwards he moved towards the goblin's cave. On the other hand, the party was sitting beside the fire, talking about what should they do now. The party leader said that he can't die like this, and shouted again. He tried to motivate the team members. One team member said, "What is that? I mean above your head." The team leader leveled up. He didn't understand how he leveled up. While Kim Woo-jin lit up a torch, blocked the goblin's cave mouth with wood and threw his torch on it. The wood caught fire. Soon the smoke arose. The goblins got on alert. The smoke entered the cave and goblins choked. They fell on the ground and ran towards the cave mouth. The cave was burning fiercely. The goblins tried to get out but were stuck at the burning door. Kim Woo-jin said, "Why don't I prepare a funeral for the players while the goblins burned to death?" He moved backwards, but a giant goblin came out of the dirt. It breathed heavily. Kim Wojin woke up the goblin champion. The goblin champion moved towards him. Kim Wojin took out his sword. The goblin skeleton looked at him. It had a change of expression, like it was waiting for his chance. Now it was one-on-one between skeleton and goblin champion. The skeleton rushed towards the goblin champion and cut the back of its foot. Kim Wojin was amazed by his action, as it was the same way he fought in his previous life. He looked shocked. The enemy fell down to its knees. The skeleton from the back attacked him. Kim Wojin said, "That combat style, the same as mine," and struck the sword in its head. Kim Wojin was happy as it was an unexpected gain. He smiled at the goblin skeleton and said, "If it's like this, then he has to change his plans." The system window opened, and the agent of Dark World congratulated him and gave him a legendary skill page. The Hunter Association came to know about the dungeon clearance. They were shocked, went to the dungeon gate. The party came out of it tattered, and sat in the ambulance. The association asked about Kim Wojin. The party was silent. Association thought he died and the dungeon gate opened. Kim Wojin came out of it. The association was astonished and the dungeon gate closed permanently. The association man ran after him. The team leader said, "That bastard, he was alive." The team leader was sweating and said, "That jerk? Who is he?" Soon the news of dungeon clearance spread all over the world, and the demand of players increased. On the other hand, the party leader was spreading false rumors about Kim Wojin. He said, "The party almost died because of him. My head broke because of that bastard clumsiness." While Kim Wojin was making plans about how to destroy Si Junli, first he had to become strong enough. When his plan was ready, he made his move. He went to Phoenix Guild headquarters and demanded for Orc Hunter Dungeon. The manager asked about his rumors and he said he was raiding dungeons only for money. The contractor said, "You should value your life more than money." Kim Wojin replied, "You just give me the date. I'll handle the rest myself." And he left, in order to kill the hero. First he had to grab hands with first villain. He went to the dungeon and met the dungeon handler. The dungeon handler was amazed that Kim Wojin will raid the dungeon alone. He went inside the gate and looked in his status window. Check the mission. An orc attacked him from the back. He slid beneath it and attacked its foot at the back. The attack was not deep. He stood face to face with the orc. The orc smashed his hammer. Kim Wojin dodged, and again attacked the same place and repeated it many times. The orc, not able to match his speed, got confused and lost his legs. Kim Wojin moved towards it. The orc was badly injured. He took out his sword and finished it. Now he got a new summon. The achievement of Kim Wojin came in the eyes of many guilds. A guild found him interesting and told his members to look at him. The members said, "What is this?" He didn't believe his achievements and find it gullible. The guild secretary Lee came and said, "Is there a problem?" The member became frightened. The guild master said this information is 100% trustworthy. On the other hand, Kim Wojin was fighting with the orcs with his skeleton. The orc skeleton durability was very weak, so he had an idea. He touched the dead orc and used his summoning skill. The orcs were surprised, as Kim Wojin summoned a new skeleton. Now he had an unlimited supply of undead summons. The orcs were defeated, and he leveled up. Kim Wojin was planning his next move. The orc skeleton came near him. He hit him with a stick and moved on, while a berserk orc skeleton was waiting for him. Kim Wojin prepared his bow and arrow, stained his arrow with poisonous blood, gave signal to orc skeleton. The skeleton moved towards the berserk orc. The orc looked behind. Its mouth was watering, and ran towards the skeleton. The skeleton rushed towards the orc, slashed his sword. They both come head-on with each other. The orc bit the skeleton, while Kim Wojin was standing behind, getting his aim precise. Release the arrow. The arrow flies towards the eyes and hits it. The orc tries to resist the impact, and the arrow struck the orc's eye. It took out the arrow. The orc became half-blind and was affected by poison blood. The poison spreads fast from the eyesight region. The orc became angry. its health continuously decrease. And it fell down, the orc become dizzy. The skeleton took the chance and finished it. The mission completed. Kim Woo-jin saw the insides of the orc. He detects something. A sliced chest of a skeleton. He moves close to it, and finds out it was attacked from behind. He thinks it was done by Phoenix Guild. He pinpoints a cave and moved towards it. The entrance was very narrow and saw a corpse wearing armor. It was not very damaged. He saw the Phoenix Guild badge. His name, Ian YG, was written on it. A book dropped. He picked it up and found out it was a diary. Flipped its pages. The book had the blacklist of Yongwon faction. Kim Woo-jin was very happy as he had struck gold.
If you enjoyed the video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.